What's up, guys? It's Wolf from the Quarantine, and today we're going to be taking a look at a small game called Wind Up Wars by Bellwether Games. Now, Wind Up Wars will be coming to Kickstarter in October. When it is up, I will have a link to it up here. If you want to go check it out, it'll contain way more information than I'll be able to touch on here. Now, Wind Up Wars is a very light 3 to 6 player war game that's contained in these tiny little gum box little cases here. Now, this contains one army, so I'm assuming the full game is going to be a larger box that just has a whole bunch of these in it. Now, as usual, this is a pre-Kickstarter game, so all the art and pretty much everything you see here is an early prototype, so it is all subject to change as normal. So let's just dive straight over into the overview, shall we?
Alright, this is basically going to be Wind Up Wars, pretty much set up for like a 3-player game. Now, there's a few things I have to mention. As usual, this is a review, it is not a tutorial, so I may miss a few rules or I may gloss over some entirely. So the way the game is going to work is everybody's going to get one of these little gum boxes, and then you pull everything out and you're going to have 6 military units, and the theme behind this is, think Toy Story. Basically, the people have left the room or left the house or whatever. The toys are going to come to life and beat the snot out of each other. Is basically the theme. And so you have two different, as of right now, you have two different armies. You have just normal soldiers, little toy soldiers, and then you have dinosaurs. So those are the only two themes currently. But you're going to pull everything out, you're going to take your little health tracker, and then you're going to choose 3 of these military units. So for the sake of demo, we're going to take these ones right here. So the remaining 3 you're going to toss over out of the game. They're not in. And you're going to choose which one of these 3 do you want to start with. So you have a couple different colors here. This color here, the red, is what their health starts at. So I would place this like that, because he has 3 life, so he's got 3 hearts showing. The green and the purple, well, you see here is pink. I'll touch on that shortly, what exactly that means, but let's just say I'll take these ones here and I'll put it on 3. You'll take these and set them sideways below your, there we go, below your health tracker. So everybody's done that. So now you get to start playing. So what you're going to do is, because I chose this guy, he uses purple and green. So you have a big stack of cards like this, and purple and green are going to be what he uses. So you got purple, which you may not be able to see due to my terrible lighting, but you got purple, you have green. Now everybody can use black, and if you use something that you normally wouldn't be able to, I'll kind of touch on how that works, but it could really hurt you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through these, and you're going to place 5 of them in a row face down going this way. So they're somewhat self-explanatory. So if you look at this, it says attack 1 to the left. So what this would mean is if this is flipped over, you're going to do 1 damage to the player to your left. So he would go up, boom, by 1, lose a health. So on and so forth. So, you know, attack all who attack you. You have set bombs. You have full reloads. So let me explain what reloads work. How reloads work. So let's just say, hypothetically, I'm just going to set down some random ones. Let's just assume whatever I place down is able to do them. So what you're going to do, after you place all 5 of yours like this, and everybody's done it, you're going to go, okay, round 1, and you're going to flip. You're supposed to say something, I don't remember exactly what it is. It's like winding up or something along those lines. But you're going to flip this, and each player is going to flip it, and you're all going to do it simultaneously. So even if your character dies, the attack's still going to go through. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to flip over the next one. Everybody's going to do that. Attack 1 to the right. Boom. They would go down by 1. Flip this over. Attack 2 to the right. So that would go 1, 2. Meaning, in a 2-player game, it would go 1, right back to you to 2. The game can't be played 2 players, but I'll get to that. And then you'll flip over this, block and retaliate all attacks. So what a block does, you got, where is it? There you go. So you have these shields that are blocks. They just stop all damage. So if you timed it right and everybody attacked you, nothing happened. Ha ha ha. So in this case, you block all the damage, but then do a damage back to whoever attacked you. Pretty sweet. And then you have a reload. And when you flip over a reload, you can play the reload anytime during is any one of your 5. But a reload, you will get the reload back to your hand, and then all the cards to the left of it will also go back to your hand. So that means, let's go back and put this out. Let's say we did the reload here. That's when I decided to reload, because reload, you're open to an attack. So I would get these back into my hand and the reload back into my hand. And then once the whole round's over, these would go to your discard pile and you don't get them back. However, a reload, again, takes all cards to the left of the reload back into your hand. So if next time I play a reload, these will come back to my hand. And I just dropped a card there, but that's okay. So the game is basically going to progress like that, round and round and round. But there's a few cool things that you got to think about. So let's say I'm right here. I'm about to die. There's no question about that. So I may want to start putting cards down that the other ones are going to be able to do as well. Because once this dies, and you flip over a card, and okay, oh, my guy died. So you're going to take this, you're going to toss it over here, and then you're going to immediately pick one of these and put it out, ready to fight. However, those cards that are still face down over here, you're still going to have to be able to use. So, last but not least, I'll touch on what happens if, say, I flip over this. There we go. Boom. I flip that over. Now, he can't use yellow. He can only use green. So, this counts as just a block. It doesn't do anything special. It's just a block. However, if nobody did damage to me, then you're going to take this and you're going to flip it upside down. It's got this little symbol right here, and I don't know what's wrong with my terrible lighting. Everything's really bright for some reason. But you're going to take this and you're going to put it under your little player sheet here to show that you have 1 penalty. Now, if at the end of any round you have 3 of these, you're just out. So you have to be very careful with what you're going to place and when you're going to place it. However, I should mention we've played numerous games of this, and that's never really been a factor. If you know you're getting ready to die, generally people put greens and blacks down, but you never know. But that is basically how you play Wind-Up Wars. I don't think there's any other nuanced rules that I usually forget, so let's just go straight over to my overview, shall we?
Alright, Wind-Up Wars. Well, Wind-Up Wars is super light. It takes, as you saw, just a few moments to actually teach somebody how to play it. And I've yet to play it with anybody who hasn't liked it. Now, if you're looking for something super deep, you're going to have to look somewhere else. But it is a very fun, very light little... And it can get a little deep when you're sitting there going, okay, well, I have 1 heart left on my last dude, and say it's a tank. And so you got a lot of really powerful things you can do. So do you lash out and hope to kill everybody else in time, or is everybody going to gang up on you and take you out? So do you stack a bunch of block cards and then attack on your 5th round when most people are going to be reloading and try to get in a weak spot but then have to lose those cards for a round? So that really sucks. And there's a lot of things you have to think of, but it's also so incredibly light that, you know, my 9-year-old daughter picked it up like that. And I'm pretty sure, like, you don't even have to read. Well, you have to read a little bit. But with the symbols, as long as you could read very basic, you could totally play this game. Play it with your kids, play it with your family. The most we've played it with is 5, and it plays perfectly fine with 5. What happens, which I failed to mention during the overview, what happens is if somebody dies, they're out. So you just skip them when you're saying, okay, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, whatever. You're just going to skip them. So the way it works sometimes is it gets a little stressful when you maybe had a 2 to the left for whatever reason, and you're getting ready to attack somebody, but they died, and now you have to flip over 2 to the left, so 2 to the left goes right back to you, and you actually hurt yourself. So we actually had that happen once or twice, and it was really funny. Somebody flipped it over and went, oh no, flip over their card, they take damage and wind up killing themselves. So it's a lot of good fun. I definitely recommend picking it up when the Kickstarter goes up. Again, I'll have a link to it right up here. Really fun little game. I highly recommend it. Anyways, that is Wind Up Wars. If you can give my channel a like, comment, subscribe, check me out on Patreon. I'll have a link to that up here as well. I will see you guys next time in the quarantine.